All right, this segment of the Sports Source brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. East Tennessee usually gets hit with a late snow or a late ice sometime in March. Be prepared if that happens this year. Daniel Hood Roofing can provide an ice and water shield for your home. Also, line up a free estimate for that, but you can call Daniel Hood Roofing today if you need any kind of work done on your roof, or, of course, brand new roof. Nobody does it better. DanielHoodRoofing.com. Okay, now, as the host and producer, I wanted to go last to be fair, and all these have been presented in the exact same fashion, so I wanted to make sure that everybody did it with an even display. Chris, roll it.
For our SEC, we wanted to create the Culture Conference, a football conference so good, so deep, that bad NFL teams would be scared to play there. Our SEC schools would have to have rabid fans. Fans that care more about their school than pro teams, the world around them, their own children. Our schools would be big state universities with alumni all over the country. No mamby-pamby private schools allowed. Our schools would need to be willing to sacrifice all other sports for the sake of glorious football. Football would have to be the unequaled king on their campus. Our school's academics. Yeah, well, they'd have classes and stuff, sure, but it's not a biggie. So let's start with the 2024 SEC and commence with the evictions. Missouri would be out because they're not even the #1 sports draw in their own state. Vanderbilt would be out because they simply suck. Kentucky? Hey, it pains us, but just try to name one cool game day tradition at Kentucky. Well, there's not one. Plus, they'd never sacrifice basketball for football. They're out. So that leaves us with 13 teams, and here's who we bring in to join them. Clemson, Florida State, Virginia Tech, West Virginia, and Ohio State. Oh, and if you think you hate the Buckeyes now, just wait till you get to know them. According to the latest brand rankings, that's 18 of the top 30 football programs in America. That's a conference boasting every single national champion since the playoff era began. That's major rivalries and a whole lot of couch-burning, car-flipping, cult-like, bat-crazy fans. And man, do these people like to sing. The best teams, the biggest names, the most passionate fans. That's our SEC.
Wow.
So that was standard, same as everybody else.
Even.
Now, my goal was culture. Culture. You had to be football crazy. Now, would I want to throw Kentucky out? No. But when I was putting it together, it's like, okay, what cool video can I come up with Kentucky? Name me a football tradition they have. My old Kentucky, they don't have a football tradition up there. That's something that everybody thinks of, a game day tradition. I looked at adding North Carolina. Same thing, basketball school. I lived in North Carolina. People talked about basketball in the ACC tournament. Nobody talked about football. So I wanted the biggest brands. I wanted it to be scary good. And I also wanted the side note, of killing the Big Ten. You take Ohio State, you take Ohio State, which is only a 5.5-hour drive from Knoxville. They'd fit. I lived there. They're crazy. You kill the Big Ten in an extra little icing on the cake move. So that would be my thought. So questions?
Well, it's definitely a great hot video, John.
But do you count off because I cheated?
Presentation, extra points.
No, that actually puts it over the top.
Yes.
And I noticed that everybody had Vanderbilt getting out, so everybody gets bonus points. I'm going to waive your $150 application fee to be able to consider today. But the Culture Conference has to be the winner.
Well, we're not doing it now.
No, okay.
No, actually, he's declared it the winner. Let's see what everybody else would do. Let's take a look at the real SEC. Let's take a look. If you combined all of our lists, including Jimmy's, it's pretty interesting. You wind up with it. Well, I'll show you next. Tell you what, when we come back, we're going to finish this up, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Gus Manning, and another Vol legend a little bit later. Come on back on the Sports Source.